Hey, Dr. Williams. It's Megan Schumann. I apologize for the tardiness since Prezi didn't exactly turn out the way it's supposed to be, nor was able to be posted, so you said be creative, so I'm here making a video. I know us as educators, we stress 21st century thinking. It's not restricted to Prezis. It's not restricted to Facebook. It can also be a video uploaded onto YouTube and then put out for the world to see. And so here I am. So this is for assignment week 2. And I chose the article talking about overweight trucks straining infrastructure, if I can speak. It's been a really long day. Tomorrow's our last day of school, and I feel like I can't speak anymore. So, what I will try to make up for in actual interesting Prezi, I will try to make up for enthusiasm in talking about this article and how it can help in determining prior knowledge in my students, how it can help build on prior knowledge in my students, and also the strategies that can be used to help my students, help the learner. So this actually kind of goes along with my life. I spent 11 years in journalism and advertising, and as we know, newspapers are becoming dinosaurs. People are not picking them up as much as they used to anymore. People are going to the internet. They're subscribing to internet newspapers. A lot of things are very digital now. So to have somebody attracted to that front page article, let's say they made it to the top of the fold and they have a very interesting article, they need a title that's going to grab the attention of the reader. You want to pull them in, just like any book, magazine, you name it. Because of the archaic, tangible piece that it is. And I hate to call it archaic because I think newspapers are amazing. But you want something, and definitely an article that's going to have words that pull you in, that are going to be creative, and that almost pretty much summarize what the article is about within a few words. So again, the points to address are, how am I going to determine the prior knowledge in my students within this title? How will I help build on prior knowledge due to this title? And what kind of strategies will I use by using this title and the vocabulary in it to help my learners, my students, grow? So, excuse me, that was my dog and my son who probably stepped on her foot. But what I wanted to say is, and I put into the little sections of the Prezi, was that the prior knowledge can be based with the students. They can take the time to look around and understand the individual words, and then checking to see if they can make a connection with the words, because you want it to make sense, right? That the words got to go together. Just as I'm talking to you now, you can understand me and what I'm saying and put the vocabulary together, whether it's simple or not simple. So can the students find other ways to say the same thing but with different words? Because we have overweight trucks strain infrastructure. So then the students will look and they'll understand the relationship to overweight and strain. For when something weighs too much, it can cause strain on anything. Overweight people, strain on organs. Overweight truck, slow, too much gas, late delivery. Overweight dog, unhealthy. If you put too many items in your attic, your ceiling's gonna cave in. So, I mean, how can they apply it? How can they identify it? How can they make it make sense? So then how will you begin to, how are we going to go further into the knowledge? And to build the student's prior knowledge, it's important to encourage the student to look and study those words. Use dictionaries. Google's our dictionary of today. and that the students look at the headline and they take the time to come up with sentences that can connect the headline to the sentences they write and that they relate to the headline of the article. A possible sentence that the student could use is that the truck carrying too much product to handle making it difficult to get the shipment delivered on time. Whether that made sense. I had to think about it too. I had to think, what words would I use? And that's the sentence that I came up with. Once the students understand what they're reading and what the words mean, and then they can use sort of like a metacognition sort of way, they can think about their thinking, then you can kind of pull out the word infrastructure. Some of these kids are going to be like, I have no clue what that word means. So they're going to have to really think about what it means. They're going to probably have to look it up, or the students are going to have to discuss with each other. And the challenge to them would be, well, what kind of short words could you come up with that means infrastructure? My word is frame. We all as teachers use the word framework or infrastructure. It means the same thing. What is the baseline, the frame behind this word? Frame, it's a synonym to infrastructure. And then they can start putting things into sentences with synonyms from this title. Some of the strategies that I like to use in my classroom definitely is if say you have a chapter book and you can go to chapter 1 and you're going to try to determine what the paragraph is about just based on the first sentence that they read. And that was one thing that I kind of used to study whenever I was just doing like quick notes and to get through the notes, and then but I would go deeper later, is to read the first sentence and determine like, what does that paragraph mean based on that one sentence? Because generally the first sentence is going to tell you the main idea. Small group discussions. The more the kids talk to each other, they can learn from each other. It's not just the teacher teaching in the classroom, it's also the students. They all learn from each other. They all have something to give to each other within the knowledge that they've come and the prior knowledge that they've brought to the table into the classroom. Informational videos. I love TED Talks. There's many great YouTube channels out there. Khan Academy's great. There's a lot of really great programs that can help the students understand the vocabulary better. And then also graphic organizers are amazing. Anchor charts, have them everywhere. You want the kids to have something that they can look at and take at a glance to go back to better understand what they are learning. So just as we close, the students need to know that it's really important to gain this knowledge, but it's also the teacher's job to know it's important to learn what that student's prior knowledge is. So then we as teachers know where to begin the lessons, what lessons to write, how to lay out our lesson plan, and then this would make it easier for us to give ourselves to our students, to draw our students in, to be interested in what we have to offer as far as learning vocabulary in order to remember what we're reading, in order to be drawn into what we are reading, and then it goes on and on and on. So in closing, I put at the end to expect to learn a ton of great things. That's only based on the title of an article, a book, or a magazine. So this is my creative work right now, and thank you for your time, and this will be submitted right now. Have a good night.